On April 12th, the Oklahoma Senate passed a cattle theft bill in an effort to help curb cattle theft in the state. Executive Vice President of Oklahoma Cattlemen's Association, Kelsey, joins us on the phone to give us more information. Thanks so much for joining us, Mr. Kelsey. And can you give us an overview of the cattle theft bill?
You bet. Good morning, and it is a pleasure and an honor to be with you this morning. Yes, we were successful in not only getting it out of the Senate, but then we moved it to the governor's desk, and the governor signed it late last week as well. So this became law, and there's two pieces, very important pieces to our cattle theft bill. The first addresses restitution, or the fine portion of the penalty. So when a thief now steals cattle in Oklahoma, they can be fined up to 3 times the value of the animal. And that is very important. We wanted that to be sure not only to make the producer whole, but also work with law enforcement to make them whole in the cost of the investigation, as well as we want to work with the livestock markets, because a lot of times they're harmed in cattle theft cases as well. The second portion that is very important also, and this is a really big win for us in our mind, is that we clearly codify in state law that each animal that's stolen may be a separate felony offense. So in other words, when a DA is looking at a cattle thief, then they stole 10 head. In other words, if this is a really bad guy, we want to throw as big a book at him as we can, if you will. Therefore, that DA will could take on 10 felony or charge 10 felony counts rather than just 1 felony. So we think this is a big win. This helps us move forward to continuing to help try to curb cattle theft here in Oklahoma.
You know, how big is the actual problem of cattle theft in Oklahoma?
Yeah, that's a great question. And certainly when cattle prices spiked a year or so ago, we saw a big jump in cattle theft. Incidentally, it's very closely connected to drug use, which makes this a very complex problem to deal with, but also all the more important for us to try to tackle. Last year, our Department of Agriculture, which houses our investigators, reported 1,600 head, 1,600 cases. That's just the Department of Ag investigators. So those aren't the ones that we're not even aware of in sheriff's departments or folks that maybe just lost one and thought maybe the calf just died or something rather than reporting it stolen. So this is a big issue. While we've seen it drop just a little bit because of softening cattle prices, it certainly still is a big problem that we want to hit head on here in the state.
All right. Thank you so much, Executive Vice President of Oklahoma Cattlemen's Association, MichaelKelsey. The nation's farm broadcasters are gathered in Washington, D.C. this week for NAFB's annual Washington Watch. The event gives members the opportunity to hear from agriculture organizations, officials from the USDA, and leadership of the House and Senate.